Hey everybody, it's Jasmine Face.
What's up?
We have a lovely co-host,
Vanessa.
Vanessa, and we also have Callie that we're interviewing today. She's a unicorn, so you guys just chime in, like, share, subscribe, and leave your feedback or whatever. But she's gonna explain to us what a unicorn is, and if you have any questions, just chime in or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
leave your
Callie?
comments. What is a unicorn, Callie? Let me start off by asking you that. Sorry. What is
So-
your definition of a unicorn for the people?
My definition would be a single person, male or female, that enjoys being with couples or enjoy having threesomes.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to, you have a very soft voice. So when you speak, try to speak up a little so the camera can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So you say unicorn is like someone that enjoy being with couples,
Yeah, couples or, in my opinion, having threesomes.
having threesome. So how would you differentiate a unicorn versus like what they call like polyism?
Well, I guess unicorn is enjoying the experience without the commitment,
Okay.
and poly is more being in a depends because it's different type of poly relationships, but the general aspect of it is a man having two girlfriends or wives and or vice versa.
Okay. Okay. So you got any questions you want to ask before I start?
Yeah, I do. So, like,
That's-
what makes you like how did you first get into that? Like, what made you think what made you know that you were a unicorn? And okay, so just explain that. Like, what makes you think that you were a unicorn?
Well, I was bisexual since I was like a teenager,
Okay.
so I always enjoyed just having threesomes and stuff. But I guess with the way the world is now, it's like there's so many different terms. So I realized that I fell under the unicorn area in terms of like enjoying being with couples or having threesomes.
Okay, so
So-
how do I'm sorry. So how do how do you get involved with the couples and things like that? Like, do you pick them or do they pick you? Like, how does that work?
Well, I guess it goes both ways. I usually tend to do it online, like through a dating app that's
So you,
focused on just that.
so you kind of like y'all vet each other. Y'all
Yeah,
talk?
so we'll have conversations, like get to know each other, and it's weird because with some couples, the female likes to be the person that communicates, and then other couples, the husband communicates. So we pretty much just get to know each other, see if we enjoy each other's energy, and because I'm also like a demisexual, sapiosexual.
Can you
So-
explain that?
See,
I don't know what that is.
so I mean you gotta be stimulated like mentally.
Yeah, that's like somebody you have to have a connection with and have sex with.
Okay.
Like you can't just one night stand it. I guess you could say it has to be like we enjoy each other's energy, we enjoy the same things, stuff like that. Like we connect on another level.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. You go ahead.
All right, so we interviewed a couple who were swingers,
Mm-hmm.
and they said they started out as unicorn, but after a while, guess she wanted to be in a relationship and he wanted to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
So you think you evolved from a unicorn into like a swinger couple?
Yeah.
Like basically what I should ask, really, I have some questions that I written down, right, that I wrote down about how would you feel, can you be in a relationship with one person,
Mm-hmm.
like exclusively?
Yeah. Just one-on-one.
Yeah, just one-on-one.
Yeah. I just do this. This is not, I guess how they would say, a lifestyle for me. It's
Mhm.
more so because I'm single, it's just what I enjoy to do. But if I was to get into a serious relationship, it would be like totally different in terms of the level of relationship that we're on.
So it's exclusive, so not even another female, because you said you was bisexual.
See, that's what I mean. Like, it depends on where we at in our relationship. If we're just dating and like still feeling each other out, it's like 6 months in or something like that, then yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But if we was like taking it to another level and like deciding to like move in together and like really getting serious about things, then I would take things into consideration. But then at the same time, I think it would just be a limited thing for me. Like, I would just limit it, but
What you mean limited?
like in terms of how often I do it now, opposed to if I was in a relationship.
So if you was in a relationship, I mean, you would still be interested in doing that. Depending.
What part of it? It mean with couples or just
every-
with an individual?
No, not with couples. It would just be like just having a girl, not like the swinger aspect of it.
Okay.
But it would just be like a once in a blue thing. I wouldn't do it as often as I do it now because I'm single.
Okay, so do you prefer, like, what do you prefer? Like, a monogamous relationship or the swing, like the
Monogamous.
Monogamous?
Yeah.
So if you was to meet somebody and you were into them or whatever, they were into you or whatever, would you tell them that that's what you were doing, or would you just leave that like kind of, you know, like out of the?
Well, I think it would come out because eventually, not like in the beginning, but or if the conversation leads there, it may come out. But I wouldn't hide it. Like it's a part of like my past and who I am. So if I'm getting into a relationship and we being single, and from the time that I was single to now being in a relationship, being open and honest about who we are and stuff, I think I would explain that was a part of my past.
All right. So I know you say like if you was in a serious relationship, you would do it less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any time period in your life where your lifestyle, like you might not view it as a lifestyle, right? But your lifestyle hurt a relationship that could have possibly grow into something that would have been like, you know, because, you know, let's say I personally know you, so that's why I asked this question.
Yeah, but...
And, you know, like an individual one time wanted some exclusivity with you. And, you know...
I think it's like, I do this because I'm single. Right. So, because of that, this is what I do on my off time. Well, I wouldn't say off time because it's not all that I do, but in terms of like being sexually active. But if I was to get into a serious relationship and it's one that's purposeful and I feel like it's on the right track and it's worth time, because time is too short. We just don't want to take it for granted. If I was to get in a relationship like that, I would take it more serious. This is just, it's not like a life, like that's why I said it's not like a lifestyle for me. Like I just enjoy doing it. But if I was to get serious with someone, it would be, I would focus on that person. I wouldn't, this is not a necessity for me. It's more like something I just enjoy. Yeah, okay. Enjoy doing.
Okay, so when you vetting these couples, like what qualities do you look for in a couple or, you know, these partners?
Usually mature, and when I say that, I mean that in terms of the mindset. A couple that knows what they want and they have a trust level and there's no sneaky snide stuff going on in the background and stuff like that. It's just like they know exactly what they're doing. They're financially set in terms of they have their whole stuff together. They're not struggling with anything.
So hold on. So when you say sneaky stuff in the background, what do you mean by that?
It's couples that I ran into where the guy would try to get me on the side.
Yeah.
So you don't do that?
No, I don't. I enjoy my peace.
Okay.
So I don't want to damage anything or disrupt any household like that. Now, that'd be my first thought. But it has happened before.
Will you still slide with the guy on the side?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be my first thought though.
Okay.
But it has happened before, but But yeah, but the couple that I prefer being with or being around is a couple that they have a trust and understanding of what they have going on, and it's like nothing that they do on their playtime interferes with what they have going on.
Okay. So, what's the most rewarding part of being a unicorn for you?
I guess the sexual experience.
What, the both male and female at one time?
Yeah, the best of both worlds. Is the
Okay,
same
so I
time.
have a question. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So, do you prefer like one or the other? Like, do you prefer being with a man or do you prefer being with a woman?
I prefer being a man. I mean, it's just like I enjoy a female because women bodies are beautiful.
Women are
and
beautiful, huh?
very much so, and
I concur.
just-
No.
it's just like having a man there and then having a female there. It's just like the cherry on top.
Okay.
So, have you ever had a situation where you preferred one over the other? Like, you know.
I wouldn't say I prefer. Well, yeah, there was this one couple that the husband was more of the communicator, so me and him vibed out really well. Like our hobbies and the things we like to do, like we really vibed out really well. And then me and his wife, we were good, but we just wasn't on a level that me and her husband connected on. So wait, what was your question?
Who you prefer?
Who
Like,
prefer,
yeah.
a man?
Yeah, definitely. I prefer the male always.
Okay,
Or
so
not in terms of the couple, but just in terms of what I'm attracted to.
so how do
Okay.
you find, like, how do they come about? Like, you know, like, how do you find them or they find you? Like, how does that work?
Like on it's an app for everything these days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dating app that specifically focuses on single people meeting couples or just people in that whole open sexual universe. Couples that like to be with other couples, stuff like that. And I meet them through there, and yeah, we talk. We see if we want to meet up, and then after that, we just get to know each other, and then we go from there.
so I want to ask a question, right? So on this app, do they have like lesbian female couples who want to be like with straight males?
Yeah.
I'm just messing around.
But
But
they do, though.
anyway, yeah. But what I want to ask, right, on that same topic, on that same level is you said, you know, males first, and you know the woman is the best of both worlds. What's the difference with being with two males versus a couple? How do you view that? Two males versus like
Two
a couple?
bisexual males?
No, not two bisexual males.
Oh.
Like having just two males in a threesome versus a man and a woman in a threesome. That's what I'm talking about.
That's more dominant. That's like way more aggressive. That's like yeah, that's way more like
So that's not in the same light.
no, because I feel like with two women it's more soft and sensual, and then with two men it's just like there's nothing wrong with it, but in terms of what I prefer, it's a man and a woman.
Yeah, I like how you broke that down.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do a man, two women, or two men? Like, how does that work?
Like two.
No, hold on. What did you just ask? You want to know if she would do two men? Or,
Yeah, two men and two
that's what you want to ask?
Two women in terms of like
No, she want to know if you
Yeah,
had
like
two men.
lesbians.
like.
Oh,
Well, I
you
never
need a
did that
threesome?
before.
No, like
I
a
never
Three
done
girls?
Two, yeah,
With
two,
three girls?
Yeah, two girls.
No,
just two
because
men.
I prefer penetration, so I will always.
Oh, so you like penetration?
Yeah,
Okay,
the female is just like.
It's
So
like
more
a tease.
sensual.
Yeah,
It's like a
it's just
tease,
more,
a warm
yeah.
appetizer.
Yeah, but in terms of just 3-4 females, no.
Okay.
All right.
You know.
So hold on, I got a question, but hold on, I see you over there looking. You got any questions for her? You, yeah. Cause you over there like, so you know what I mean? What questions you got?
She's like so
Interested?
She answered like all the questions like I had in my head to ask her. So
So okay, so I have a question. So even like okay, so when you meet, you say you reach out to them or they reach out to you?
Vice versa. It's like I guess like a Tinder aspect. You swipe left, swipe right type of
Okay,
thing.
so what do you look for, like as far as like a couple or like individual? Like what do you look for in the people?
A couple that is, I tend to like date people that has kids because you just they understand better than a person that doesn't have kids. So
Explain.
in,
That's interesting. I want to know the mindset. Why why you think how you think, and there's a reason.
Yeah, they seem to be more mature, more responsibility driven, more. They have shit to lose. If that makes sense. So they move in a different mindset opposed to single people and just could come and go and do whatever and
Okay.
yeah.
So what's the weirdest couple you have encountered?
So I guess it really wasn't weird, but I only met up with them once. We went out to this bar in Jersey, and they argued in front of me, and I didn't like that. Right. It was just, and it wasn't even a guy. It was just more so the female, because he'll say we was asking each other questions and getting to know each other, and he'll say something, and then she'll be like, "Oh no, that didn't happen," and then it went from there to something else, and it was just messing up the energy. And I'm just sitting there drinking my drink, like I don't know, that's their business, like. But yeah,
you're not here for that. You came
yeah,
for fun.
no, I'm very non-confrontational. Like I just enjoy my peace and having fun, and we know what we're here for. We're here for a good time. Don't mean we have to rush into that, but even if nothing happens, we're still here for a good time. So I don't like that arguing stuff.
All right, so that's good. That leads into my next question: is how do you set boundaries to ensure a positive experience for yourself?
I think that falls the line in the terms of us getting to know each other phase, asking questions, seeing what we enjoy doing, seeing what we do for a living, seeing just where we want this to be, or the times of what is our ideal goal for this intention that we're. The relationship that we may have. Nothing exclusive, but in terms of where is this going? So just pretty much basic questions, just getting to know each other and stuff.
Okay, so I have a question. So you said nothing exclusive. So you don't want anything exclusive, you just want a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing long term, or nothing like that.
Consistency. I'd say consistency. I'm willing to I guess it's long-term dating, I guess you could say.
Okay. So you're not willing to be in a relationship?
Yeah, no, that's when it gets into the poly aspect to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never had feelings for any of them, or?
It has happened before, but I in my mindset, I know what I'm here for, and they're married, and or not all the time they're married. Usually, sometimes it's couples, but I don't put my heart in a place to feel feelings, because that's what they have going. I know what I'm here for, just to have a good time. I don't want anything.
You don't get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, no, I just want to, we could go out, we could travel, we could just enjoy life together. But in terms of growing feelings, I don't think I would do that, because if I was to get into a relationship,
because that's natural.
In terms of caring for them, but in terms of falling in love and I want to be with you, no, nothing like that.
Okay,
but
so I have a question. I'm sorry. So as far as that part, what's the longest relationship you've ever been with a couple?
I wouldn't say not an exclusive relationship, because I was never exclusive.
Oh, what's the longest couple you've been with then?
Going
because you were still doing you, but you say you had a consistent couple where you was with for however.
I'd probably say about a little under a year, maybe 10, 11 months.
Okay, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question. So when you get into an exclusive relationship, just you and one person, does that kind of interfere? You said you don't really put your feelings involved and stuff like that. Does that kind of interfere, or that's something totally different?
If I was to get into something serious, I would just cut that off.
Because that would be something totally different. Your feelings in it now.
In terms
you will
of
open yourself up for that.
Yeah.
Because this is a different relationship.
Yeah, if I was getting serious with someone and it was just me and him focusing on each other, I would just cut that off. Because that's just, I don't know, like extracurricular activities on the side. That's not something that
Yeah.
I need.
Okay,
to
so which
function.
one would you prefer? Like as far as like couples or like one-on-one, like, you know.
Oh, definitely a couple. Definitely
Oh, you-
definitely a one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
With a
someone
girl.
I can.
With a girl.
No.
With a girl attached. So
Once in the blue, once in the blue.
Once in a
But
blue.
definitely a one-on-one. Someone I could grow with, build a life with, especially with the way this economy is going now. So just someone where we can enjoy each other and grow together.
So have you ever been in a one-on-one relationship and you told them about the past and that kind of like messed things up a little bit, or you know?
I wouldn't say it messed things up. I did. I gave my daughter. I gave one of my exes. Foursome.
Foursome?
For his birthday.
Okay, so
So-
foursome, can you explain that? Like, was it
It
two
was
girls or like
Three
how
girls
did it go?
and him.
Oh,
So and I was one of the girls.
He's
So
lovely.
2 extra girls and me and him.
You
so-
enjoyed that?
Yeah, but I was young. I was like,
Now, so what happened? You think that messed up things?
no, I didn't mess up things. It didn't mess up things because I knew I was bisexual. And
Oh, so you just letting us know that this was something you were exposed to somebody.
yeah, that was one of the first. That was actually the first foursome I ever had. So I was like, oh man,
How was it?
maybe like it was cool. It was cool. I had a good time. He had a good time. So
So what's the problem?
no, it was no problem.
Okay.
There's no problem. We still actually one of the girls we still know today because she was his neighbor. Well, technically her grandmother lives there, but
I have a lot. I'm sorry. I have a lot of questions. So
As
far
Let's
as-
get 'em.
So as far as like, what do you look for in like couples, or like, you know, if you're gonna do something with your, like you say, your baby father or whatever, like, what do you look for in the person to make them know that that's the right person to do it? Like, you know.
I'm big off like energy. So
Okay.
like just reading energy and getting to know a person
Vibes.
and yeah, I just like good vibes and someone with a genuine heart and like good.
Yeah, so they gotta be good character at the essence of it. At the end of the day, they still
Yeah.
gotta be good people. They just can't
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and I think that goes into the sapiosexual me, just someone that I could connect with and someone that has like good purpose, you know. So like that, I just enjoy having good people around me because like I said, I enjoy my peace. So I just like to keep a positive energy and just have a good time on the site.
So no jealousy or nothing. Like, have you ever had experienced any of that? Like, you know, or either you or the other, like the couples or
yeah,
anything?
not me.
That's
more
natural. I'm
so-
sure that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanna know, like-
not me. It was more so the female, whether they were married or just in a relationship. You could just they never came out and of course said that what it was, but in terms of just like the energy and not seeing them again or only meeting up once, you could just see that sometimes it
Somebody
just
had a little feeling.
yeah, or they just
Especially if there's significant others into you, that's like a natural thing.
yeah.
I will imagine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like a lot of I guess the guys keep it to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but
What you mean by that?
in terms of like if they have like more of a feelings or something like that, because it never really. Usually, like the encounters I have, it usually all goes well. It's not like meeting jealous people, because if we meeting up and you jealous and stuff, we pretty much I didn't vet you right. And then when I say vet, I mean in terms of like getting to know
Yeah,
on
you
the
doing good. Yeah.
over the phone and picking up your energy and stuff like that. So
So when you do, I guess, vetting, like, how do you, like, do you talk to the man more or do you talk to the woman more? Like, who's
it
more?
depends on how they want to proceed with it. Like I don't have a dog in the race. So however they want to operate, whatever their rules are, however they feel fit, that's who I talk to. I don't prefer. Let me talk to this one or that one. However they start with it, that's just who I talk to. There's been times where I start with the husband and then he'll bring it to a group chat and it's me and her. And then there's times where I start with the wife and it's just the wife, or I start with the husband and it's just the husband. So it depends on the person, on the
Okay.
couples.
So have you ever met any like a couple where you were more into one than the other? Like,
I think we asked that already, right?
I don't
I
think
really
so.
did. I think we said that already.
Did we?
Yeah. Early
But-
out.
That has happened before. In terms of like, in terms of just vibing, not in terms of like falling for them, but in terms of like vibing out and who you have more similarities with,
And how does that usually work?
and just in the flow of conversation, the flow of phone calls, who reaches out more, because I don't wake up and I wait till you reach out.
Okay.
So I don't want to intrude or anything. I don't want anyone to have like any, I'm being overbearing vibe. So it's just, like I said, I move on their terms.
Okay, so they kind of in control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a situation where you wasn't into one and you was into the other more? Like, you know.
Usually I gotta be attracted to the female.
Okay.
I have to be attracted to the female, because if I'm not attracted to the guy, I could just say I don't want to be with him like that. He could still be there or watch, but in terms of like penetration wise, I don't want to be with him. But
Yeah, so you had situations like that where you like, no, I'm not fucking him, but I fuck your wife?
No, but that was their terms.
Okay.
Like, just the wife wanted to have her experience with a girl and have her husband watch, and well, he could do everything but penetrate me. So
How did that go?
So,
it went good.
and you said
It
that
went
was,
good. It was a little corny on my end because I like both at the same time, but it was good. They enjoyed themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
and you said that was at the choice of the wife?
Mhm.
But what if there was really a situation where you didn't want the husband to penetrate you? But are you just fully submissive to the couple?
No, because my body is not theirs. But in terms of like, if I don't want the husband, I'll just verbalize that. Or I just wouldn't do it. Because I have to be like, again, somewhat attracted to you. And like, have a connection with you and doing to do something. So it's been times where I was more attracted to the female than the husband. Or I was more attracted to the husband than the female. But usually when I'm looking for couples, I try to be more attracted to the female.
Okay. So there was this one.
I don't enjoy like the spitting, peeing,
Your Diddy stuff.
yeah.
Diddy stuff.
You can say that.
Diddy stuff.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So, for someone like Vanessa, what advice would you have for them if they're thinking about venturing?
Being
You know, she seemed very interested in this topic. So if someone like Vanessa wanted to go down that street, what kind of advice would you give her? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's up to you. It's your road. You pave it how you like it. If you're attracted to something in particularly, you go for that.
Okay.
It's really up to you, and in terms of what you want to do and how far you want to go. Are you in a relationship?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I mean,
Why?
you have
Why is
peace-
that
you have peaceful
unfortunate?
nights.
Unfortunately, fortunate for me, because then now I'm able to go out into the world and experience new things after being married for 13 years.
So,
Yes, that's a long time.
Yeah.
what? So being married, so you probably kind of very inexperienced then. So have you ever thought about stuff like what she mentioned? Ever
Not
any of those
really,
stuff ever
but
crossed your mind?
I find it very interesting. It hasn't come across my mind. I didn't know what a unicorn was before, today. But it's just interesting, like the different dynamics.
So do you think she explained it well? I want to
Yes.
kind of get into the mind of a unicorn and even the dynamics of the people in those relationships. Because I remember one time you was telling me a story about a couple where, like you said, the guy wanted to get with you on the side, and basically the girl was talking about he was having threesomes without her, so that's considered cheating.
Yeah, it was this guy.
So I want to know how that works, you know, because she knows, because they do threesomes together, but if they're not doing it together, that's considered cheating. Like
It's
these different rules and dynamics.
it's like a violation because we may have like a thing where we agree that we're gonna be doing it together, and then all of a sudden like you're doing it without me. So
Yeah.
right?
Was
It's
it
a violation.
agreed upon, or maybe it was just hopefully, because you mentioned something earlier about, did you mention something about a lot of females, they partake in threesome to kind of minimize their partners to cheat? You mentioned something like that to me before.
Yeah.
Like break it down, like and word it better, because I'm just trying to like remember
It
from the things we talked about.
like I said, it depends on the couple. I prefer couples that are more have a loyalty base and trusting. But it was this couple that I came across where the guy was just a habitual cheater,
Right.
and whether it was other threesomes or other females, he was just with other females. He was just cheating, and she submissively said, "Okay, let me just start having threesomes so she could like minimize his cheating, I guess you could say." Yeah, that didn't work out. He was still doing whatever he wanted to do on the side. He tried to get with me on the side. And it's crazy because they broke up while I knew them in that phrase, and they got back together, but in terms of it's pretty much the same aspect. Like she's just trying to make him happy so he don't seek otherwise, but he's still seeking otherwise.
Okay, so I have a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you if you feel that that's going on, like how do you interject into that, like to, you know?
I eject.
You eject.
Yeah,
Okay.
I try
You like
not
your
to.
peace.
Yeah, I try not to dabble in that because.
So if he's like reaching out to you on the side and things like that, like you tell her, or you just kind of like fall back. Like how does that work?
I never did that before.
Okay.
I never told her. I just like remove myself from the situation, I guess.
Okay.
This is getting messy now.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, she knows her man.
Right.
She knows whether I'm the first person or whatever the case may be. She
Right.
knows what he's capable of in terms of how he wants to move. So I try not to get into that.
But that has
It's like-
happened before.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely happens.
A lot?
And it's always. I wouldn't. It happens frequently. I wouldn't say a lot. I'll say out of 5 couples, it happened twice.
Okay, so what about the female? Like, does the female ever? Is she the one that's reaching out more than the guy, or you know, like?
It's been couples like that, but I prefer that.
You
Cause
prefer that?
I prefer the female to reach out and then
Okay.
to be like, I want to actually genuinely be friends and like hang out and like go get our nails done and do happy hour and stuff like that after work. So
Why is that?
because I want to have that connection with the female. I'm like seeking I want to build a friendship. It's genuinely my goal. I don't want to just like come over and just like, okay, thank you, see you later. I don't want to just do that. I want to have like actual, these are my peoples. Like we could travel, we could go do whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, even if we meet up and nothing happens, we're just still hanging out having a good time. So.
Okay, so I have a question. Like long term, like have you ever had you said 1 year, like, but that was the longest that you've been. So, let me see how we'll put this. So,
And then that only came to a pause because the wife, she became pregnant.
okay.
So as she's getting bigger and bigger, they're like limited to what they can
What
do.
they can do.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you do have like, do you want to be like, when you meet these people, are you like meeting them to just have fun, or are you meeting them to like build something with them?
both.
Okay, so you wouldn't mind being like a 3, like a
Not in terms of like
relationship.
friendship. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
friendship,
all
okay.
be friends. In terms of like
Yeah, we
being
just have
a girlfriend to their relationship.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like how would that?
I
work?
mean, I guess you could call it that because we're just dating, but I'm still single. I'm still.
You gonna do you. You
Yeah,
ain't
there's
gonna
no
be like
commitment
limited.
there.
So you know what?
Yeah.
It sounds just like
So
when
that's
we
why I just
interviewed the
leave it, like, on a
swingers,
friendship.
right?
Mhm.
Because when I went to the swinger party, they was just all hanging out, having fun. Like you said, this is not something people imagine that we just swinging it. It's just something they go out and do once in a while, or they do. You feel what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
they're in the mood or something like
But
that.
it depends. Some people are really like into the lifestyle, like they fully commit. Like this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
some people that 100% this is what they do.
So it would be like two women and just one man in a full blown relationship. Like
It's
you're
a
okay
poly
with that?
again, no?
Oh, that goes
That's
to
fall
something
into a
different.
poly
Yeah,
now.
something different.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't
she-
want. I don't
The
want
commitment, yeah, that's like a poly.
Yeah, I don't want to have any kind of. I can't date other people because now I'm dating this. I don't want anything that's serious.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how did you like get into this? Like, you know, what made you like the first experience? Like, how did it?
Well, what made me get into just dating and focusing, I did that probably like a year and a half ago. But I've been bisexual since I was like a teenager. So I just dating single men is like on a whole nother scale right now. Like the dating pool is just horrible at this point. So I just turned from just focusing on dating single men to like dating couples. And I did that for maybe like the last year and a half, maybe almost 2 years now.
You just satisfying your desires.
Yeah,
And,
because I'm single. So,
So she said you started in a year and a half ago?
yeah, like almost 2 years ago.
Oh, you young then. You're a young unicorn. You're a pony.
Yeah, but in terms of like having threesomes,
You've been doing threesomes?
Yeah, in terms of like having threesomes and stuff. But what I'm saying for the last 2 years, I just focused my dating on just that.
Oh, okay, I get
Yeah.
it.
I just took a break from dating single men.
You know what I'm saying? You answer these questions very well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Very well.
I'm trying.
You know, you did well. You know what I mean?
So I have a question. Dating. Okay, so. Damn. As far as so you said you rather date couples than like have a single, you know, just
No.
one-on-one.
Well,
She said that earlier, one-on-one, right? She
Yeah,
preferred the
I
monogamous.
prefer one-on-one.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
said
Prefer
that.
one-on-one.
Okay.
yeah, like like my dating right now, I date single men, but at the same time, if it's a couple that I am attracted to, or if we get to meet each other on the app, then
So what makes you attracted to, like, what is it that kind of attracts you to the man and the female to make you want to, like you said, it's energy and things like that. but-
energy, where they are in life, the physical appearance go into it as well, but it goes, to me, it's beyond that. It's just like who you are as a person and like where your heart is placed in this world type of
So what do you
vibes.
look for? Like, you know, I know that's kind of like,
So-
but what do you look for as far as that? Like where your heart is placed at, and like, you know, where you are in this world right now. Like, what are the things that you look for?
Just usually someone that is God driven, because I'm a Christian, so someone who knows of God, and you don't have to go to church every day, but you know, you just
You gotta believe.
Yeah, gotta believe. So, someone like that, someone who usually has a job, moving about life.
Why they gotta have a job?
Yes, because.
What's up with that? Why they gotta have a job though? What?
Listen, there's a difference between someone
Yo,
that has a job
come on,
and someone
man.
that's struggling right now in between jobs.
Fellas,
There's a difference.
no.
But you gotta be
I
working
I ain't got no
towards
job
something.
right now though.
You gotta
I
be
ain't got a
working
job
towards
right
something,
now.
basically.
What the fuck?
Listen, and when I say that, I mean in terms of like someone who has purpose, someone who has responsibility, someone who is moving for self and stuff like that. In terms of financially, I don't. That's not, because I'm self-independent, so that's on them. But in terms of like someone who's just driven and moving forward.
Okay. So I do have another question. Like, okay, so like when you're with somebody, like a couple, and they have like, okay, so like holidays and shit come up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you expecting for them to do for you and the woman? Like, how does that work?
No.
Okay, so
No.
you'll be good if like Valentine's Day come up and you don't get no flowers.
Yeah.
Or anything, but they. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
this is
it's
just a
not.
question.
To me, it's not that deep. That's something that's more I expect to be on like me and a one-on-one person type of relationship.
Okay.
Now, if you want to give it to me, I gladly accept it.
Okay.
But it's been couples that gave me gifts before, like he knew I was an anime fan, so he got me like a whole gift bag of anime stuff, like little dolls and like T-shirts and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been a couple that gives gifts, but it's not something that I've acquired.
Okay, so what is something that turn you off? Like, besides like drama and stuff like that, like.
Probably a couple that has too many insecurities.
Okay.
Like, or like a couple that say they want to do this, but then when the time is there, it just
shaky.
Yeah, so I just want you to, I prefer a couple that knows what they want and, like I said, have that loyalty, trust foundation.
So you ever encountered the amateurs where you had to kind of ease them into it? What about, say you run into somebody who's a newbie? And you're the vet. And you have to control the situation?
I'm not sexually dominant. I'm submissive. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm on the submissive side. So, but it has been times where the female, this was her like her first, second time. I only did it in college or something like that. So, but yeah, we just just ease. It's not something that's required. So we usually hang out. We go out, do something fun, and then usually nothing happens on the first date. It's just like us getting to know each other's process. Yeah. So
what?
Okay, so I have a question about that. So like, what if you come into like a couple and it's the woman's first time or whatever, and they kind of like they don't want to do oral or something like that. Like, how does that work? Like, do you require certain things? What if the man and the woman don't want like if they're not into oral and things like that, but they want to receive it? Like, how does that work?
I tend to stay away from those couples because I like to full swap it.
Okay, so you want to be fulfilled and you want
Yeah, so I'm just not like I don't want to just be out there, which is nothing wrong with it. If that's what they're into, that's what they're into. It has been couples that like the female didn't mind if he penetrated me, but she didn't want me to kiss him. Like she felt that was too passionate, like that was too personal.
Right.
So it's like different couples, different rules, I guess you could say.
Okay. I just asked this.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. It's a lot of different questions that I have.
So I don't know. We've been going. I just checked the clock. We've been on for about 40-something minutes.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry.
All right.
So like, if you meet somebody and you're more into one person than the other, like how does that usually work? Like, do you just leave that alone, or do you kind of?
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean? You got to be more
like
detailed.
If you're into one person, like if you like the woman, like if the energy with the woman is more than the energy with the man, or the energy with the man is more than with the woman, like how does that usually work? Do you try to still?
I still communicate with both. I usually still communicate with both.
So what you want to know? She sneak off with one?
No. It's not sneaking off. Like do it kind of like. Do you just leave it alone, or do you still go with it?
I'm open. Like I try to get to know the person and just like find some kind of similarity that we have, so we can build some type of vibe after that.
Okay.
Usually it's some times where just one person is just naturally more close, but then when we meet in person, that person is like totally. They just not the biggest texter, is what I should say. So, yeah, it's just like I don't really go off through the phone communication. It's more so off of how we vibe out in person and stuff.
Okay. And what do you look for in a couple? Like, besides like the job and the energy and stuff like that. Like, is there anything specific that you look for?
So I love all type of females, and I'm not gonna say all type of females, but just a female that is her mindset is she knows what she wants. She's focused. She has what she needs.
What about if her ass fat? Fuck all of that.
The physical aspect
Yeah.
doesn't really. I'm not gonna say doesn't really faze me, but
So she got a big stomach.
I have big stomach, so I don't really care about
Okay.
stomach.
You don't care
But,
about that?
yeah, no, I don't care about that. But in terms of like, I just whether I enjoy boobs and having an ass. You don't have to have the biggest ass in the world, but it's more of the shape of the woman.
Okay.
So,
You asking these questions.
So what's your type, and like, you know, when you're looking for couples, like what is your, do you have like a specific type?
I love chocolate.
What that mean?
Like chocolate.
Dark
Like,
skin.
Oh, chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love chocolate. So it's but I'm open to. There's been couples that I've been with that was lighter than me, like light skin. So it's.
Oh, you prefer chocolate though, right?
I wouldn't say prefer because
No, I prefer chocolate, so it's cool.
yeah, I would be cutting off my chances, but it's them females.
Listen, I don't want nothing to look raw. Okay? Anything that look raw, I don't want
Yeah,
it.
no,
So
yeah,
give me
no
something
white
well
meat. I'm
done.
good on the white meat,
Yeah,
but
I
in
agree
terms
with
of
that.
like the spectrum of the melanin of the black skin, yeah.
And it's nothing
What I
towards
prefer
you
is
guys, you
chocolate.
light skin guys, but I just love
Light
nothing
skinned
at
guys.
all.
Damn.
I just love
What about light skinned girls? Hold on though. You know, we
Dark
asked a
skin guys.
I
question
love
earlier.
anything
You know what? I
that's
had a
well
question I
done.
wanted to ask you that slipped my mind while we was talking while Jasmine was gone. When we was talking about the unicorn and you thought about it. I want. Do you like girls? Do you find girls attractive?
She said that. She said she.
No, I didn't ask you. I didn't. I'm
She
talking
said
about
she-
her.
Oh,
I'm talking about her. What are you
supposed
talking
to
about?
her.
No, you left. We had a whole nother conversation
Oh, I missed
over here.
it. My bad.
Girls, you look
I
good
wouldn't
to you.
say no, and I wouldn't say
Yes.
yes completely. I would say it depends on if they're like, if you're pretty and they have a good body and if they look nice. Like, cause women like naturally see other women and they're like, oh, she looks nice and stuff
Right.
like that. So in that
Girl,
way,
you
yeah.
would you kiss a girl?
Never say never.
Okay, I take that.
never.
I'll
Say
take that.
never.
I'll run with that.
Honestly, well, you want to ask me that question?
No, I didn't ask you nothing.
Listen, I think women are beautiful, but I just can't eat twat. Like, I don't know. It's like something with me because women, I know a lot of females, and I've had a lot of stories, and women are nasty. They're nasty. Like, I can't.
Some females are, but it's
Yeah, I just can't. Like, I can't see myself. Like, I didn't heard a lot.
You
of
don't know
stories.
yet, though.
No, nigga, I know.
If you're hungry,
I know.
if you're starving,
Listen,
you're
I
gonna
know.
eat.
I know.
No,
I haven't.
don't know.
I'm not gonna say that. I haven't had like just thinking of the things. Like I haven't gotten to that point yet where I could be like, oh. But I see
You
a
ever had
lot
a
of
chance
women.
to?
Of course I have. It's
To
a
eat?
lot of women that think I'm gay. And I'm not, but you know, that's what they assume. They be like,
What
oh,
you
you're
mean
gay,
not?
you're bisexual. And I be like, no, I'm really not.
Not
But
yet.
no, and it's not yet. It's just that I just can't see. Like I have a lot of female friends, and I heard a lot of stories in my life. So I just think women are very like they're unclean sometimes, and they do things.
It depends on
sometimes.
the woman then.
No, they can be clean, but they do shit that kind of like throws me.
Like
off
what?
sometimes.
I don't know.
Like
Without
they'll be
being-
like, oh, I'm on my period. Today's my last day, but I'll make this nigga eat my pussy, or like.
Oh,
you
that's
know,
what
just shit
they
like
do.
that.
You talking about the
Yeah,
character
like, I
of a
just
woman? You
can't-
talking
yeah,
about the character
Character
of
of
a
a
woman?
woman. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody in
not
general.
her like hygiene. Like,
No, not her hygiene.
You talking about the character?
Yeah, the character
that's-
of women. Like I've heard some stories sometimes, and I'd be like, yo, like I can't eat no vagina because I
Well,
know.
you know what I'm saying? Remember
No,
earlier
nigga, I
she
can't eat
mentioned
no
this
vag- I
person
can't
got
eat
to
no
be a good
vagina.
person.
You could
A
think that they're a
character.
good person, but when you hear stories like that kind of stick in my head.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
You're traumatized.
I'm traumatized because I know what y'all out here doing. Like, not me, but y'all. Like, I know what y'all out here doing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's just kind of like, oh, like that's a little bit too much because I wouldn't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, so, okay.
yeah, so that kind of like it kind of throws me off. I'm not saying that I
So
would
you
never
saying
like,
like
play
the
with
woman
titties.
is deceitful, so you don't
Yeah,
know.
they are.
In the
Like,
that's
we
Oh, you hear that, guys?
I'm
You hear it
scared.
from a woman.
I'm
glad
scared.
you
Like,
heard
I'm not
that.
even gonna lie.
Well, we
I'm
got-
scared. Like, women are kind of like,
Alright, so that's cool though. But
Yeah.
we're gonna
but I can't never say that I would never. I might play with a nipple.
Yeah,
too,
anyway.
but you know what I'm saying? Like,
So
that's
we're
probably
gonna
like-
save that
I'm
for
not even
another
gonna lie.
topic.
I'm
But
not
you
even
know,
gonna lie.
I think we probably about to wrap it up. So, is there any other questions in closing that you guys want to ask? Anything else you want to say?
Like she was pretty
Thorough.
precise and thorough in answering all the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I have a few more questions, but
Next time you gotta write them down.
we're gonna have another interview. We're just gonna do a part 2 because
All
this
right.
is, it's
All
going
right.
a little long. But yeah,
So yeah, we just gonna wrap it up and
thank you,
appreciate you,
Callie, for
Callie,
coming
for
through.
coming here.
Yeah, no problem.
And you know what I mean,
Mhm.
telling us, letting us know the unicorns and the stories, and
Mhm.
I think I learned a lot today. You was very articulate and you know what I mean, and how you answered the questions, and even if they were, they was
Yeah,
good. I think it was good.
they were.
Yeah,
I
they
think
were
it-
pretty
Yeah.
easy going
Right, so
questions.
I hope you guys enjoy. You know what I mean? Got anything else you want to say, Vanessa?
No.
Okay. So hopefully when we come back, Vanessa have a story
Thank you
for
guys.
y'all.
Make sure you chime in, like, subscribe, whatever, leave comments.
Whatever.
Yeah.